Howdy, tabletop RPG fans. Thank you for supporting this channel. I'm Wrangleme, Grand Poobah of Game Design, and this Reviews Day topic is about HōL, the Human-Occupied Landfill RPG. HōL and its companion, Buttery Wholesomeness, is a darkly humorous satire of hyper-violent RPGs, corporate greed, and dare I say, violence, sodomy, violence, insanity, and foul effing language. It is for mature audiences only. HōL was created in 1994 by Todd Shaughnessy, Daniel Thron, and Chris Elliott. Buttery Wholesomeness was created in 1995. There is no typesetting or desktop publishing in these books. They are hand illustrated, and any edits or mistakes are done by blacking out the old text and filling in with brevity and arrows in the space available. The contents is not short on craziness, but it also shows that the authors and the reader are complicit in this insanity. Originally published by Dirt Merchant Games, it was added to the Black Dog Game Factory label of White Wolf. White Wolf, who publishes the World of Darkness RPGs, is known for very adult topics in RPGs. HōL is also very funny, and one of the most popular RPGs that nobody plays. I enjoy humor a lot, including dark humor. This pushes all the way past that and into something new. The galaxy is a big and strange place, and there is one tiny planet where humans live that also happens to be designated a landfill. HōL is the human-occupied landfill and is where you live. Everything is run by evil partnership between the Emperor of the Confederation of Worlds, Cow, and the Megapope of the Church in Munch, which is both a place of worship and a fast food restaurant. Encounters in the junk wasteland can include the sodomy bikers, the flesh tenders, the slug handlers, and many more demented and outrageous forms of depravity and evil. These are my HōL and Buttery Wholesomeness books. HōL is the human-occupied landfill, and it is clearly labeled here on the cover for adults only. As I mentioned previously, it is hardly laid out in a desktop publishing package. This is looks like it all was illustrated inside of a notebook and just depicted as being done with illustration and then written out, and any corrections, anything that had to be redone was scribbled in the margins and pointed to with arrows. This is the human-occupied landfill and all the craziness that they can do with the letters H and O and L. And then this is the Confederation. This is the picture of the Emperor Rubric the Ninth. And this is His Holiness Rashish Big Stevie Zimmerman, the Megapope. He's the one who runs the church in Munch. You play with 2d6. Snake eyes, you lose. There's a large number of very strange and wacky illustrations. A lot of comments like kill things now, anguish factors, damage multipliers. Stuff about how close something is, +4 to hit when you can see their eyes, +2 when you can see their heads and chest, +0 when they're medium distance away, -2 when they're far away, and -4 when they're really, really far away. Combat is 90% of the game and certainly has a lot in this. This is a wastum, a little creature that is also good to eat. Tastes like tapioca. Combat. Then characters. This is where it talks about building a character. As pointed out by many people who've looked at this afterwards, it really wasn't until Betterly Wholesomeness came out that people actually knew how to generate a character. You could intuit it, and you could certainly play the characters in this book, but not everything was actually explained about all the character creation part. Here's probably one of my favorite characters in the whole book is Lead Pigop. A tiny little boy, 2.5 feet tall, with 7-inch hair, and a very giant gun. And his pet, Waste It. And I will point out that a Waste It is not a wastum. And the king. The king, what do you want? It's Elvis. Art is actually pretty incredible for black and white art. It's the theming and everything about how everything works in this game is very internally consistent. Game master in HōL is called the HōL Meister. Flesh tenders, the Dickens boys, the sodomy bikers, the followers of the sacred hairpiece, Sightseer's Guide to HōL, Appendix 1, Appendix 2, Appendix 3, Appendix 4, Appendix 5. Each one is a table that you can randomly generate encounters or items or weapons or who knows what. Quick stats section for Dickens boys, Inquisitors, Flesh tenders, Cow, Light Infantry Commando, Church Missionary, Dump Technicians, the Kindred Army Rebel, Norton, the Slug Handlers, the Sodomy Bikers, the Church and Munch Employee, and Mahatma Gandhi. There's the character sheet, and then and about the authors. As I said, insanity was obviously a result of making this game. Battery wholesomeness, suggested for mature readers. So this is laid out very similarly. Many of the pages are rotated because they're charts and tables and just lists of things to roll on or to order things. That went a long ways to organizing more of the world and more of how things work. Generally bad choices, a clown college, specifically bad choices, a mentor, the Galactic Shopping Network, soap opera, and stat gain. So each of these tables is useful while running the game or to help expand and make the world even more funny. Bad monkey, good monkey, family, the buddy system. Pope Man, an altar boy, tool, how to have sidekicks and superpowers. Tons of weapons, because the world needed more weapons. Body armor, imperial armor, equipment. Overall, a terrific expansion to explain even more about the weird world and to provide hours of entertainment. If you're going to run a campaign in HōL, I would highly suggest adding Buttery Wholesomeness. If it's a one-shot, you probably don't need Buttery Wholesomeness. The whole character sheet, which I'm showing a slightly compacted version of, is simple and organized into sections. Character profile, your name, oldness, bent, sex, donut preference, and the ultimate question, if I were suddenly turned into a mollusk, I would. And then a list of special abilities unique to that character. It also has 5 stats. Gray matter, which is an intellectual capacity, if any. Meat, physical strength. Feats, dexterity. Mouth, charisma. Nuts, spiritual resolve. These stats can go anywhere from -2 to +10 in normal characters, but I've seen stats way outside of that range. Armor. Then you have a choice to pick from dozens of skills, including ones like repair toasters and stuff, a gray matter skill for fixing things. Make someone stop living with your fist, the meat skill for bashing in skulls while unarmed. Scathing sarcasm, a mouth skill for humiliating your foes into piles of tears. That psycho Bruce Lee shit, a feels skill that for the dazzling your enemy with martial arts. Combat is done by rolling 2d6 plus a stat plus any skill and compare on a chart against a target's dodge or parry roll. Equip stuff is your weapon mass destruction. And lastly, and a tiny stubbly wastem is in the corner, not to be confused at all with a what's it. This episode is brought to you by Kaboomkin, the smaller, faster, funnier RPG of cartoon, fairy tale, post-apocalypse mayhem. It's time to blow stuff up. Get it now at www.kaboomkin.com. Thank you all for watching this episode. Hit like, subscribe, or ring the bell, or Booger will get you. If you want to see more videos like this, go to hopspush.com and buy an RPG or t-shirt. Do good, annoy evil, and bye-bye.